That's kind of how I felt getting into. I've only been playing for I think for 4 years or so. I mean, it
Hmm.
was right around when fifth edition came out. That might be five or whatever
Hmm.
now. But I remember learning D&D fifth edition and then going back, and I had a friend who wanted to play Pathfinder, and it's basically D&D 3.5, right? But
Yes, I
just
mean I've never played it, but I know of it. I mean
but just
Mathfinder, as they say it.
all the feats, all the everything to track, and just oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds a bit too bookkeeping for me. I Well, I
I
mean, I like to sort of work out. There needs to be an element to that, but
I
not
just
too
feel like
much.
if I'm not a god by level five, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, fifth level is pretty powerful in any version, but by but third edition, you get the impression that you need to have worked out the math and you've got it right.
Right. It's just ooh.
All right, let me see. I think we may be just three, but let's see. Ah, Nicholas, you're here.
Indeed, sir.
Ah, great. What time is it there?
It's 10 to 10 in the evening.
Ah, so it's still possible. What's the
Yeah, it's a nice time for me actually, and this should be wrapping up around half time for the Tottenham game. My girlfriend's in bed getting a nap, so that at 12:30 when it's on, then she can get up to watch it. So when I clock off from here, I'll catch the end of that, I'd say.
Yep.
That's perfect time. What time is it where you are?
Are you a Spurs fan?
No, my girlfriend is.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I
It's
just
coming
watch
up
it with her.
10 to 2. 10 to 2 p.m.
Nice. Yeah, perfect hour for it.
Mm. And what's the name of your character for this one?
Gloud, son of Dimgol.
Nice.
I only just recently was going through the Facebook feed and saw something that Troy, I think, had said about canon characters. Was going to message you, but I figured there wasn't much time anyway. I can just rename my character if it has to be something canonical.
No, I mean, what we're playing is not canonical. It's inspired by the story, but it's definitely condensed and using other characters.
So
Where
basically,
Okay.
what I heard right there is that if I don't have my family tree mapped out at least 6 generations, going back to some king, then I can't play in this.
Yep, that's the.
And so that was Nicholas.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I'm Mick. Good to meet you.
Mick and Nick, that should make it fun for
Right?
guys.
It'll be good times.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to be playing a fighter battle master, Caius. That's what I
Okay.
rolled up. And the way I rationaled figured it was Gloud fought alongside the heroes of Erebor in the War of the Five Armies,
Hmm.
and yeah, kind of settled down after that, kind of having finished his quest, and then grew restless and realized that it was actually the journey to the questings that he missed, and so he set off hearing that Balin had gone to Dimrill Dale. And
Hmm.
so I assume that when he came across things, that's when the orc archers attacked the Dimrill Dale. If that's cool with you,
Yes,
what would
we're
you
going to
think?
actually start the adventure from the death of Balin. So you've actually found him alive in Khazad-dûm as Lord of Khazad-dûm, and
Okay,
come out with him for a sort of ceremony in Dimrill Dale, at Durin Stone in
okay,
Dimrill Dale, and that's where
sweet,
we'll take it up from the death of
sure,
of your lord and or companion.
okay. Or perhaps I've just come here then and sworn my service to him. I'm knelt to him as my lord.
Hmm.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds good with me.
Do you have any questions? We should. I plan to start dead on, so we've got 5 minutes left. If you'd like to do any last minute, grab a coffee, whatever.
Good call. I'll be back. I don't have any questions, but just so I let you know, I'm not like up to speed on Lord of the Rings canon. Like I've obviously seen the movies and read the books, but only twice. I'm no like fiend by any long shot, so forgive me.
That takes the pressure off me because neither am I.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, like I love it, obviously. Like I love the shit out of it, but I don't know it inside and out. So cool.
I'm just waiting for somebody who's watching, right, to actually be that Tolkien fiend.
Yep. We're gonna...
raging in the chat the whole time.
Yeah, we're just doing this to provoke them. That's my only.
I'll be back.
That's my only ambition.
That's right. Bring the haters out.
Yeah.
You know they're out there, but fuck them.
We're just gonna have so many dislikes on this YouTube.
Was it supposed to be any press is good press? I'll take it.
Yep.
So you're going to start with a little synopsis of setting the scene, if you will, and then give us a chance to introduce your characters, or we're doing that beforehand?
We're not going to introduce characters. We'll introduce characters as part of the adventure. There'll be moments to sort of get to see more of their past and more of their character during the session, but it'll start with the death and your reaction to the death.
Good man.
Or the attack.
I've never played in a game ran by you before. This is a first for me.
Oh yeah, it's funny actually because we've been in so many games together that I've been in games by you, but yeah. Actually, I don't. I've got my regular group, but I don't run that many one shots, and
No.
so saying that. Mm-hmm.
These characters were supposed to be level 6. Is that correct?
Yep.
Mine is actually level 7 because I misunderstood.
Oh, you cheat.
I know.
Oh well.
Doesn't that just mean he's the captain? He's got the most experience there.
I am old. I am old and wise, about to retire. So. No, I thought it was level 7. I sent you a message and everything, but you didn't. So I assumed that was correct.
Is this all happening when you have one day to retire from the force?
It's basically kind of that kind of story. Yeah, he's already semi-retired.
So that means that you're the reason that we die. You can just never say that in the movie, right?
That's right.
The moment you say, I was one day from retirement, boom, everybody's going to die.
So.
Dan Smeal just posted in your group.
Pardon?
Oh, hello, Dan. Yeah, let me just see what he said.
Dan.
If you guys need another, I can jump in. It may be a little too late, though. Dan's a good fellow. Great role player.
He's a good fellow. I'll just tell him to jump in.
Oh, baby.
It probably wouldn't take him long to whip up a 6-level fighter.
Yep. He knows his way around. Yep. Oh, did you not realize that?
I made a 5th level.
Ah.
Oh, so we're all different then. I'm 7.
Yeah. Make up what you want.
Troy. I saw you. 7, and I was like, oh, this guy didn't get the memo. It says level 5. I'm just checking right now. It's definitely level 6. So.
Yeah, see, I'm level 6, but I have like 7 feet, so I hope that's okay.
1 feet per level.
That's right.
Level
That's
6.
That's how it's done, isn't it? I can level back. The only thing I got at 7 was a few more maneuvers for my battle master.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. I like battle master maneuvers. If you want, anybody else can up their character to 7th, and I'll just throw some more stuff at you.
So yeah, my character is a shield and hammer or shield and battle axe wielding battle master defensive spec. So he's definitely very much a guardsman and a protector of others. Most of my maneuvers are to benefit others as well. So if any of you guys are like heavy hitters, I would be potentially using my superiority dice to assist you in performing better instead of myself.
Nice.
I took Commander's Strike, which gives allies a free attack. Distracting Strike, which gives allies advantage, I think. Pushing Attack, Riposte, and Precision Attack. So a couple for me, but mostly I'll be using them for the assisting others type of deal.
So we can level up to 7, you say, Kaius?
Go for it. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
There were no item. I just took basic items, mundane stuff.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Troy, I'm playing Battle Master too, but my abilities are different to you, except for the riposte and precise.
Right.
But yeah, I'm more of like a heavy hitter type guy.
Nice.
So I think we'll complement each other well without me stepping on your Battle Master toes. I had actually made him up before I read your character spiel. But
cool. I don't even know. Did I say that in there?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you post up saying you're a Battle Master. I should have read through it first so that I'd made something different.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I imagine there were lots of Battle Master types.
Yeah, when you take out magic, there's only so many classes to choose from.
So, if you're ready, I'll start the broadcast, and we'll just leap straight into it. Any questions? And we may possibly. I've invited Dan, and maybe he'll just come and join the hangout. And if he does, that's fine.
I have a question though. Do you want us to use dice stream for the benefits of any potential watchers, or can we use our own
I'm using dice stream, but I trust you guys. You can just roll.
Okay.
And then when you get too many crits, I'll tell you to
change.
Yeah.
I'll just use bones, guys.
I'll just sulk. Okay.
Because that way I can get the text open too.
That's when you're just like, oh, and the Balrog rises because you got 3 20s in a row. That's the magic number.
Just my mouse is on the fritz, and I struggle with clicking on those buttons, so I'd rather just use my dice.
Okay. I'm just going to message Dan saying we're starting now, but he can just join in. Yeah. Okay, so so we are live. Welcome to this game of Drums in the Deep, a Moria-inspired D&D D&D adventure. We're running it for Brigade Con in aid of the Child's Play charity, and let's get started. During the Deathless, in the sunless fordawn of the earth, of the world, wandered the Hithaelgir, or Misty Mountains. Under the starlight, he came across a beautiful valley with a crystal lake overlooked by 3 mountains. Durin looked down upon this lake, Keled-Zaram, or Miramir, and in the reflection he saw a crown of stars above his head. And so, by this sign, he embarked on the dwarf delving, Darrow-Delf, or Khazad-dûm, as it came to be known, the greatest and oldest of the dwarf kingdoms of Middle-earth. But for the last 1,000 years, this dwarf city has been known to the world as the Black Pit, or Moria. Abandoned by dwarves, it is a den of goblins, orcs, trolls, and their kin, inspired to greater evil by rumors of some terrible demonic entity in the deeps. But led by the fearless Balin, hero of the Battle of 5 Armies, you have reclaimed Khazad-dûm, slain the Orc King, and reclaimed the forges, rediscovered Mithril. But now the orc attacks have started again. Drums echo from the depths. And on Durin's day, Balin has led you out to Dimrill Dale to look in the Miramir that inspired Durin and seek a sign from the stars. But as you go out, the night is overcast, and your Lord Balin, as he gazes into the pool, he suddenly sees something and looks up. A spinning orc arrow with a glint of mithril and twisting red fletching punches its way through his chain coif and into his lungs. His lungs fill with blood, and as blood bubbles out of him, he falls down beside the stone of Durin. Roll initiative, please.
Do you want that just in the chat?
Yeah, put it in the chat.
I can't access my chat, Caius. I got a 10 though for Gloud.
Okay. Gloud 10.
You know us dwarves, we're all really speedy, extra sponge.
Chessel on 8. And Balin 10. Okay. Arrows start whizzing past like hornets. I'll go in order, actually. Chessel, can you make a d6 roll? Chessel, what was your roll?
Oh, sorry. That's a 5.
Okay. So, there are... So, arrows start falling around you. And what's your armor class?
Mine is only 17.
Okay. They just clatter around you. They don't seem to be aimed. They're just arrows are falling from the heights, from the shadowy heights around you. Arrows bounce around you, but none of them strike you. Around, I'll go next to Balin. Can you roll your d6, please, and tell me the result?
3.
3. And your armor class?
It's 19. If I'm with the liege lord, I would have been using my shield, so it would have been 19.
Okay. One of these arrows, just by chance, you think more than anything, strikes you for 3 points damage. An orc arrow with red fletching bites, punches its way through your mail and into your side, hardly scratching your skin, but drawing first blood. And for Gloud, can you tell me the result of your D6 roll?
It was a 3 and my armor class is 18.
Okay. And again, arrows are falling blindly around you, but none of them actually pierce your finely made dwarven armor. You get the impression there are shadows moving around. You hear the excited growl of goblin wolves, and you can see shadows moving around. You are about 300 feet from the east gate of Moria, from the Dimrill Gate, and you are down by the shores of Miramir, next to Durinstone. And the first to get his bearings and react is, well, it could be Balin or Gloud. I'll go for Gloud.
To arms, men! We are beset! And I'll ring forth my great maul, and I'll stand with my legs apart, shoulder width, over the body, and I'll over the dying liege. And I'll glimpse my eyes together tightly, then open them once more, tuning myself to the twilight beyond, seeking out shadows. Since I can't see any, but there's arrows falling about, some like ping, ping, glinting off my armor, I'm just going to ready myself in a defensive stance in front of my liege, trying to obscure him from their shots as best I can. That's all I'll do for now, while I bellow out 2 arms.
So for the other additional dwarves as well, or just the 3 of us and the fallen lord?
Yes, there are a group of other dwarves. There are. He came out with his honor guard of 12. There are 9 others, including Fra, Loni, Nali. I won't go through the full list, but they're there.
There's more than us, okay.
Yep.
Chisel, my boy. Grab the Lord by the arm. We have to get him inside. They're all upon us. They'll be here in moments.
And I start to move over, and as I do, I reach down briefly and just put my hand to that wound that I had just acquired and realize that it's not serious. So I go over and start to grab the Lord. I still have my shield on my back at this point. So I wrap my arms around the upper body of the Lord and start to drag him back. I'm a strong dwarf, but him in potentially plate mail or heavy armor would be a task for me to drag back by myself.
Grab his legs, Chisel.
He is heavy. If one person carried him, they'd be heavily encumbered. If 2 people carry him, they'd still be encumbered, but they could do it. They could move at their normal speed. Moving to Chisel. How does Chisel react?
I'm going to run
Chisel
forward.
and how he reacts.
Chisel is kind of a stockier, older dwarf. I'm going to run forward, and I'm going to throw my halberd on my back, kind of bobs a little bit as I'm running. And I'm going to grab Balin by the 2 legs. I'm going to hoist him up and start moving along. I'm going to just yell out, "God, to me!" And we're going to be trying to make it back to the halls.
Okay. You start making, you pick up the body of your lord and start falling back towards the gate. Arrows continue to fall around you, and breaking from there are no trees in Dimrill Dale, but there are in this. You've come out at night, and in this night there's breaking out of the fog in the distance. You can see some wolves charging full pelt towards you. And you can hear goblin orders being barked, and there seem to be arrows are flying, coming out of the mists, coming out of the dark mists around you, but they seem to be firing blind in your general direction. Again, you've closed the distance a little towards the gate, but it'll take a while to get there. And the wolves are closing in on your group much too fast for you to get back to the. They'll have closed in on you before you get to the gate. 20 seconds at the most. Back to Gloud. Arrows fly around you. They're still firing blind.
And I can hear wolves.
Yep, you can see wolves now, charging double the speed of a short dwarven legs, closing down the distance. They'll be on you in, again, 20 seconds approximately.
In that case, with a quick glance over my shoulder, I can see my two closest companions bearing our Lord forth towards the Dimrill Gate. I'm going to launch into a jog away from them towards these wolves, hoping that I can attract them. I'll begin hollering out and whooping my weapon about, hoping that that I can kind of intersect a couple of them from the Lord.
Okay. Make an animal handling roll.
Certainly. Yeah, I've travelled long and have much familiarity with the wild folk of these realms, but not the feral kith that the goblins choose as their mount. Those savage beasts are unknown to me, and I falter, wanting for knowledge in this moment.
One of the other members of the Lord Balin's defense steps up. Dan, what's the name of your character, please?
My name is Manus Grimlock.
Manus Grimlock.
I will join you in your bed.
Excellent. Manus Grimlock, can you roll initiative, please?
All right. Uh, 13.
13. Okay, you can join them on the next round.
Okay.
You've been surprised by the first sort of bit of action, but Balin, you've got the legs of your lord, and arrows are plummeting around you. Let's see.
So my AC is 17 now because I had put my shield on my back to lift.
Okay, they seem to be firing blind, but again, another arrow finds its way through the links of your armor, and again, it's just a scratch. 3 hit points damage. Another trickle of blood. Can you make a athletics roll DC 5, please?
I rolled 8.
Okay. The little blow, as the blow lands into you, you stumble slightly on a rock, but hold your feet and don't stumble to the floor. Meanwhile, Chessel, as these arrows flying, wolves closing, the sounds of orcs in the mists around you.
So is it my turn?
Yep.
Wonderful. I think that hearing Gloud turn back to head off the attackers, I would have to turn to one of the dwarves next to me and say, "Brother, get our king into the halls," and pass him the legs, as we're kind of going at this jog. And then I'm going to take my halberd off and I'm going to try and run back to support Gloud in heading off the cavalry.
Fra Longbeard, he would usually prefer to take his place in the shield wall, but one of these goblin arrows has actually injured his sword hand. So he gladly picks up his lord and takes your place and carries on pressing towards the east gate. The next round, you think you close. So Manis Grimlock, you are also pushing towards the gate, and arrows are flying around you. Can you roll a d6, please?
Alrighty. 4.
4. Okay. These arrows come flying out of the mist towards you, but just scatter around you, close to where you are, but none of them really do any damage, and you're just pushing on. You're retreating towards the gate, or the east gate of Moria from Dimrill Dale, carrying your lord, your stricken lord, an arrow sticking out of his neck with blood gutting out of him. His bodyguard are forming up behind him and retreating back towards the gate, with Glaud and Chessel taking a... oh, sorry, did I miss out Balin? Troy?
You did, but I'm still holding his upper body of the Lord. And like Chisel, I also call over one of the more junior members of our honor guard and
Boy, grab the Lord. Get him inside.
Nully quickly takes your position on the Lord's body.
And as I release the grip on the Lord, I look back one last time to just to come to grips if he's still alive, or if I think that he's fallen into darkness.
A medicine check, please.
Okay, let's see. I rolled 14.
Okay, you've seen wounds like that. He will die, but he's still got breath in him left, and he might have a few last words, possibly.
Get him inside, boys. You will not die out here with this scum.
And as I say that, I turn on my heel and I start to follow Chesel to reconnect with the front guard of Glaud to hold off these beasts as they come upon us. Pulling my shield and battle hammer to the ready as I start to run forward, my legs creaking, my back aching.
As you take your place in the line, out of the mists you hear a as you and a sort of rock comes a heavy rock comes tumbling down the crags in your direction. I'd like you all to make a DC 10 Dex save.
Usually that's not a tall already in this case. yeah. I'm too busy focused on the wolves scattering out of the gloom to notice the rock quickly enough. I'll bear the full brunt of this.
Oh, I got a crit.
Okay.
Desperate bastards are throwing rocks at us.
Yep. Definitely are. A rock comes rolling down towards you off one of the heights around you. Those who made their dex save get out of the way. You formed a line, but those who failed take a solid blow as this heavy rock crashes into them for 21 bludgeoning.
Yeah, half crushes me.
Is that half your hit points or more?
No.
No, I didn't think so. You're dwarves. You're dwarves.
Sons of Dimgol are made of sterner stuff than that.
Okay, and as but the ones who failed who else failed their dex saves, please?
I did. I rolled a 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay. The ones who were hit take the damage, and you're knocked prone. But I'm saying, Bolan, because you rolled a 1, you find yourself trapped under the stone. It's come to a stop on your leg. You are prone, and it will take moving the rock to get out from underneath. Okay. But now we're on to Manis. Describe Manis and how he reacts to this situation. Oh, and the wolves are rushing down on you, and they'll be on your prone forms in no time. Manis, you have time to react before the wolves get to you.
All right. Yeah, Manus has heavy scale armor covering him. He carries a shield and the battle axe. And he's already spattered in blood, making his armor seem crimson when it started as gray. He'd shout to the others, "Get behind me! Get him out from under that rock! I'll take care of these whelps!"
Okay. And the wolves will be on you in a moment. What would you like to do?
Okay. He's gonna rage.
Okay.
And move up to interpose himself between the dwarf under the rock and the encroaching foes. He's gonna ready an action to attack.
Okay. So they, before anyone else can react, they get to you. But can you make? There are 6 wolves. Can you make your first attack, please? And you hear some heavy footsteps, much heavier than normal goblins. Goblins move lightly. These are long, steady. It's something much larger is approaching through the dark, through the mists.
Okay. So just one attack?
You're ready to attack. 2 probably, because you'll be whatever level you are. Or if you're raging, however many attacks you get.
All right, cool. I'm not going to attack recklessly yet. Hold up. Dice stream is just like, I'm going to ponder this. 19 and 16.
2 solid hits on this wolf. On this warg. It's about the size of a pony with matted fur, some blood and saliva. Its jaws are trailing foam as it's launching itself towards you.
All right, 15 damage each.
15. Okay, the first blow cuts deeply into the warg, but doesn't bring it down. Do you aim your second blow at the same one or one of its comrades?
Yeah, if it doesn't kill it, you would want to finish it off.
Okay, describe how you finish off this warg.
Yeah, the warg is charging down at him, and he just like crouches low and catapults him over him with his shield, and then just chops him with his battle axe until it's down.
Okay. So that's. You dispatch one warg, but the others are on you now. One throws itself at you. An AC 18.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, its jaws close around, penetrate through your armor, and it gets a grip on you, dragging at you, and maybe not breaking through the armor, but enough to do you 9 points of damage, ripping away at this metal, and make a DC 13 strength save, please.
Oh, you don't know who you're messing with. 24.
Okay, you throw it off, and it lands on its feet and turns to attack you, but it won't be able to make any more attacks this round. That's so you've downed one and survived the attacks of the other one. Let's see. 2 go for Gloud and oh no. 2 go for Gloud, and 1 on Balin and 1 on Chesil.
If they're going for the guy under the rock, would I get an opportunity attack?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Also,
I'll definitely take that.
a question.
You can all. Well, yes, actually, Manis was the only one to get into position in time. But a question?
Yes. So with the polearm master feat, you get a attack opportunity when they enter into your reach. Does that still apply when I'm prone? Because I have been knocked down, kind of out of, off.
Yeah, it does, but it's just a disadvantage.
Yep.
It does apply.
Yep. I go for it.
All right, with
I got a 19 cut.
That's just a 13 to hit for me.
13. 13 is just enough.
That'll be 9 damage.
9.
Kind of from the ground, propping it up against the gravel and stabbing out at him.
Okay, as it closes in on you, you open. It lets out as you open a cut along its belly, but it's not too deep, not too serious, and it carries on towards you.
And I do 13 damage with a 19 to hit.
13 damage. Okay.
And if possible, I'd like to attack the same one he just attacked.
Okay, I'll say you do that. You land a very solid blow, and it's looking. Blood is spitting from it, dripping from its mouth. It's the side of it. There's a large bit of fur just hanging off it, and you can see its flesh underneath. But it's still with wolf-like savagery. It's throwing itself towards the downed Balin.
So my armor class will be 16, and the creature will attack at advantage.
Yep, it hits. It catches you in its jaws and starts savaging away. For 8 points of damage. You're holding it off with your arm, but it's got a grip on your wrist and it's drawing blood before you make a. You throw it off, but your arm's been damaged, and then it's on to 2 more. One against 2 against Gloud. Gloud, I'm presuming you had a readied attack as well?
No, I had defensive dodge action,
Okay.
but then on my next turn I did the animal handling check to try and attract the wolves, which failed, but
okay.
got their attention anyway, so I don't have a readied action and I'm prone.
Okay. So the first one. It was Gloud who was prone. Who was not prone? Manis. Anyway, never mind. I'll stick with that.
I passed with a crit.
Okay, yes, 2 went for you anyway. So 2 went for Gloud down on the floor. 1 bites into an armor class of 21, and the other one again, 23s. So 2 get grips on you and start biting into you. Savagely ripping into you for 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 total.
And blood eats as these wolves begin ripping into my flesh.
Yep. And you can hear heavy footsteps running through the mist towards you. It's and the last one is the attack on Chesil. No, a 10, a 15 doesn't hit you, does it?
No, it does not.
Okay, your trusted dwarven armor keeps it off. And now we're on to the next one will be who's got a higher AC or Dex, Gloud or Balin?
We're a tie, I'd say.
I'm at
Balin.
12.
Oh, Bolin's quicker than I.
Okay, Balin, you're on the floor. Tell me what you do.
Well, I'm stuck under a rock, and I just had this big, large, monstrous dog chewing on my arm. My first attempt will be to lift and or turn this rock off of my body so I can get to my feet once more and fight on.
Okay, make
Athletics.
yes, and it's going to be a DC 20.
That's actually, I rolled 13 with a +7, so 20
Okay.
on the dot.
Just enough. Well, describe how you get out from under this rock.
Sure. So my one arm is free as the dog was just chewing on it. I use it to guard off getting to my jugular. I wiggle for a few moments to get my left arm free to get a grip upon the rock that's crushed my leg.
Mm-hmm.
You just hear me groan and grimace as I use all the strength left into my pretty weakened body at this stage. And I don't lift the rock. I just basically just move it enough to get its momentum going in one direction so it will roll off of my crushed leg.
As I see Balin like heave the rock aside from us, as I see him like about to kind of push free of it and move, I'll be like, just wait, and I'll like put up a free hand. Hold it there. I'm straining while these two wolves are like savaging at me, and my own leg is kind of ruined, but damaged badly from the rock. I'm assuming I go after Troy, right?
Yeah, I'm not done yet though. So if I could, I'm going to use a bonus action. You see me start to get from my prone position. I start to get to my feet. You see me reach down and put two hands upon my crushed leg, and with a quick, violent yank, I snap the bone back into position. You hear me grunt and groan and scream aloud as I use a second wind, basically, and to heal myself a little bit as I reset my leg. So standing, I'm reaching down, I reset my leg, and I start reaching for my shield that's knocked off to the side. So I'm going to roll the D10 plus the level 7 for the hit point return. And I rolled 9 plus 7, so 16 hit points returned to me.
Okay. So you take your standing back to the rock.
Yeah, I'm still half leaning on the rock with one arm, and I'm reaching down to try to gather up my shield with the other.
Nice. Okay. And on to what's Glow doing?
I'm going to drop my maul and grab one of those wolves, hopefully, for a 20 million athletics.
20 million beats his.
It's a 27.
He gets a natural 20, but you still beat him.
Nice. And then I'm going to action surge and grab the other one next to me for a 26.
Okay.
And then I'm going to drag them half my movement, like crawling, so I guess 5 feet, like to like the bottom of the rock that's been kind of just lifted aside from Bolin's leg, and I'm going to stuff the wolf heads in there and then nod to him to let go of the rock.
Epic. You can have some inspiration for that.
Dare say I'll need it, me lord. Thank you.
And
Nice.
So that's two more down, and on to Chesil.
Wonderful. So I believe that there is still one wolf menacing at me from my side, correct?
Yes, that's right.
From where I am, can I see Bolin's condition? I mean,
yes, you can.
wonderful. Is his leg actually broken, or is he going to be able to be standing on that? I mean, that would kind of be my question, because we're.
I can imagine I can grimace through it. It's pretty mangled, but I can. I'll suffer through.
Work through. All
That's right.
In that case, I'm going to just lash out at this wolf in front of me, jab ferociously with that halberd.
You know, these bleak eyes are pretty made of stern stuff.
And so that is a 14 and a 15 to hit this wolf. You land 2 good blows on it. Wonderful. That's 13 damage for the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then an additional 5 And is it still alive after that?
Just a minute.
Okay.
Your first blow seems to stun it. It's not dead, but it seems stunned.
Okay. I do have a bonus action to attack with the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be an additional 6 damage, just swinging around that weighted kind of mace-like back shaft of the halberd.
Okay. As you catch it with the shaft, you feel something break into it, and it blood guts from its mouth, and it still sort of bites in your direction, but its legs go to jelly and it falls down there before you.
And then I would like to try and back up to place myself in between Balin and some other threat that's coming, if that's possible.
Let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still one warg left.
Okay.
Okay. So you're taking position next to Bolin, you say?
Yep.
As you're covering Fran, Loni, Nali, the other dwarves as they're making their way back towards the Dimrill Gate. You're definitely buying your companions time, and they're making progress. But then you hear these heavy footsteps. Chuck comes sort of running out of the mist towards you. Is a mighty cave troll carrying a huge club. It's not armored, but its natural armor is tough, and it comes barreling towards you, comes charging up out of the darkness, but it was some distance away, and it just closes in on you, and just reaches you, so you're within range. Its massive club is there by its side, and it starts reaching back to bring it down on you, but it won't be able to do it this round. But as that happens, arrows start whizzing out of the darkness towards each of you. No, actually, only one arrow comes flying out of the darkness towards. Let's see. There's one. Oh, Travis, you've joined us. Are you there, Travis?
I think he's just watching. He's just viewing.
Okay. Yep. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. From my left to right, I'll see who this arrow goes for. 3. It's going for, again. They're concentrating their attacks on the weakest, or who seems to be the weakest, the one who was brought down by the giant rock. Bolin Bleak-Eye, the old staunch warrior. An arrow comes flying out of the darkness. But it bounces off your stout dwarven chain and doesn't damage you at all. But again, you got the glint. You got the same glint, a glint of mithril and red fletchings, and the arrow was spinning in a. The arrow was spinning as it came and hit into you. It hit with some force. There's one archer out there who's better than your average goblin. The other arrows come plummeting down. Let's see. But they're firing blind still, so actually the first one will be a hit on. There'll be one hit on Chessel for 4 points of damage. There's the others around Around Manis, they just fall harmlessly. Around Gloud, you get, again, you've had bad luck. Your luck is out in this combat. You take another 4 points damage as an arrow just scratches you, and the last volley of arrows. Oh, actually, just a minute. 2, 3, 4. No, and they fall harmlessly around Gloud. One more second. But the arrows, they're just firing blind. They take out the final warg that was on you, but they rattle harmlessly off the. I'll roll.
I can hardly see it, guys.
I'll see if I can clear these. Yep. Okay, and they just bounce off the armor of the hide of this cave troll. Back to Manis. Arrows falling wildly around you. The wolves are down, but there's a cave troll in front of you now.
Yeah, he's just like banging his weapon on his shield and like pounding his chest as these arrows fall around him, just like bouncing off of his armor and just like scraping. And he points his axe at the cave troll, says, "There's only room for one big shot in this cave." And he charges right at him, and he's gonna go into a berserker's rage or frenzy. It's gonna go into frenzy. That's what it's called. Mm-hmm. So he gets 3 attacks.
Go up 1 level. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna attack recklessly. Okay, so that's an 18, a 24, and a 20.
All 3 of your blows seem to damage the cave troll.
11, 14, and 16. So
okay.
That's 27.
41 total?
40, yeah.
That's a lot of damage. But
yeah, he just like barrels right into him and uppercuts him with his battle axe, catching him right under the chin. It kind of like sticks in there for a second. He rips it out.
Okay. You can see that Manis's battle axe is doing damage to this cave troll. As the next to react is Balin.
All right, so Balin now finally on his feet and in the fight looks to Cloud. Cloud was just beside him. He's like,
"On me, boy. Manus has him on the ropes. It's time to finish this thing off and get our master home."
And I'm going to, if I'm in range, I'm going to strike out with my battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled, let's see, 18.
Yep. Your battle axe bites into this troll.
All right, so I'm using it one-handed. I swing it viciously, and I rolled an 8, so 12 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do so, I follow up with a shield bash into the knee of the troll.
Okay.
Here's your chance, boy. Finish him off.
So basically, I'm going to defer my second attack and use Commander's Strike. So Gloud here can get a free attack upon the troll.
Oh, nice. Thank you, sir. Ooh.
You also, if you do hit, you get to add an additional D8 to the damage.
It's a 16 to hit, guys.
Ooh, that just misses.
Okay. Yeah, my swings wide, so I'm just still wincing in pain, having only just risen up from the crushing rock was hurled at me, unfortunately. Actually, Kai, since I'm making that attack, can I use my superiority dice for precision strike?
Yep.
Or do I have to actually... Yeah? Okay, sweet. If that's the case, I'll add on to that a 4, so that would have been a 20 to hit. Spend one of my superiority dice. Yes, it actually would have been a hit, sorry. So I'll swing it, and just when I think I'm missing, he lurches about, distracted by Balin, and he just comes into reach. A satisfying wet thud to the side of him with the maul for 9 bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm. It knocks a bit of wind out of him, but not much more than a bruise, you think?
Did you add the superiority dice from what I gave you with the commanding strike?
I added a D4 instead of a D8, but I rolled a 1 on it all the same. Yeah, so it remains the same, Caius. Thanks, Troy.
Okay. Okay, but that was Bolan's commander's strike. Now it's your turn, Cloud.
Actually, add another 4 damage onto that, Caius. I re-roll 1s and 2s.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to maneuver around behind this thing and try and smash down into one of its feet. I'm going to concentrate all of my blows onto that, trying to ruin its leg.
Okay.
To hamper it from chasing after a party, so I'll attack twice. A 13, which will be a miss, I'm sure, so I'll use precision strike on that to make it still a miss. And my other one will be a hit for a 17, I assume.
17, yes, just gets through its tough armor, tough skin.
Okay. That was a second superiority dice. I'll use a third to make this a menacing strike, so it has to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
Cave Troll will roar in defiance as I smack it for 20 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's a good solid blow. Makes its leg wobble and it sort of drops to a knee before pushing back up. But your menacing strike, what does it need to make?
DC 14, I believe. I'll just check for you. 15.
DC 15. What? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter which it is. They're not good on any of those. So yes, your blow on the back of its knee brings it down onto its knee. You hear a crack as its knee pad breaks, or its knee bone breaks on a rock, and it pushes itself back up with a roar, but you can see it's in pain and distracted by your blow, and it doesn't seem to be performing properly now. And now, before it reacts, it's Chesil.
Wonderful. I think that I'm going to run forward, letting out kind of a battle cry at the same time, and I'm going to try and use my halberd to slash at those high reaches of the troll that some of my brethren might be having a hard time reaching. Kind of slashing it underneath the armpit and at the neck. So that's So that's an 18 to hit, and then the second one's a miss.
Okay, your 18 pierces through its tough skin.
And that'll be 13 damage on that hit. And then my bonus action, I'm going to second wind real quick, just kind of reveling in being able to stab a cave troll, because that's not an everyday occurrence, even though it's fun. And it really should be an everyday occurrence. So I'm going to go for a bit. And that's 12 to me. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. The cave troll looks alarmed, but it will aim its attack at, just randomly, the one that its focus seems to land on is Gloud. And it's one of its hands comes flying towards you. Make an athletics roll, please.
Is this an official attack, Caius, or this is a skill check?
It's It's a skill check. Well,
Okay.
it's an attack, but
Are you rolling? 'Cause if so, I'm going to use a reaction. If you're rolling to attack, that is.
Yep, you
I
can
got
use a
27
reaction.
card.
You can use a reaction.
All right, so if your troll is trying to hit Glau standing beside me, and me and him fighting in unison, I will reach around with my heavy metallic kite shield and try to protect him as best I can. So
To add disadvantage to.
that's
Well,
correct.
To be honest, he's distracted anyway. Gloud's blow
Frightened him.
has Gloud's blow has really distracted him, and though his hand is trembling as he comes towards him, and it closes in on Gloud, and he picks up Gloud to throw him into a rock, but his arm is loose, and he just catches a glimpse at Gloud and drops him rather than throws him, hurtling him into the nearest rock face. And so, Gloud, you get the better of him in that one. You force his fingers apart and drop from his grip.
Nice.
But as you do so, another arrow comes. You see now, out of the corner of your eye, a goblin nips from behind a rock. There are other goblins around, firing randomly, but there's one goblin. There's one goblin with a strange. If any of you have travelled, this would be a Haradrim recurve bow. It's got, and this goblin, this orc, with strange red welts on its face, nips out from behind a rock and fires an arrow at this time it fires an arrow at Manis. Loses an arrow at Manis, and this arrow strikes true.
Yep.
Okay, so you take.
Give it to me, guys.
Just a
Rip off the
second.
band-aid.
We're all going to be dying today anyway. Might as well just get it out of the way early.
I was doing so well.
11, 16.
Ooh, this is gonna hurt.
Yes, it is. 28 piercing.
Ooh, all right. Take half of that. That still hurts.
Yeah, and then it nips again. This Ugra blood blow nips back behind the one who is the same one that landed the killing blow on your lord. He nips back behind the outcropping rock, out of sight.
Yeah, it just catches him in the middle of his back where he can't reach it, and he's just like, ah! You'll be next! He shouts as he's focusing on the troll.
Back to, and it is Manis' turn after that. So,
all right, 3 attacks recklessly on this troll. 20 miss and 22. 14 doesn't hit, right?
14 bounces off its tough hide, but your 2 blows, yep, the other 2 land.
All right, 12, 28 all up.
Describe how you bring down the cave troll.
Yeah, so the other dwarf hits him in the kneecap, and he's crouched down, and he's like trying to get back up, and Manus climbs up on top of him, jumps, and just slams his battle axe into the back of its head, and like it's just confused for a second, and then it goes cross-eyed and slumps down.
Okay.
And then he's going to use his movement to charge towards where the arrow came from.
Okay. I'd just like to say the other combatants, because you said you climbed onto it, that's fine. But Gloud, Bolin, and Chessel, I'd like you to make a DC 10 dex save as the troll
I'll
plummeting
roll that
down
away in
towards
time.
you. If you're a barbarian, you can use your I can't remember, but advantage on your dex.
Danger sense.
I rolled a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 9.
Was that at advantage, or are you a barbarian, or are you a fighter?
Chessel is a fighter, and as am I, and so is
Okay.
Gloud.
Okay, so yep. So if those who failed, the troll lands on you. You don't take much damage, but you take 2 points of bludgeoning, and you're knocked prone again. But
They're
that's
pretty short, so it's not too far to fall.
Mhm. Okay.
How close am I to this rogue now?
You can't see the what's your movement?
Oh, what is it? 35?
35. Okay,
Barbarian.
you're 25 feet from the rock it disappeared behind.
Okay. Yeah, he's charging towards the last place he saw it.
Okay. You see Manis taking off. Next, Bolin, what would you like to do?
All right, so this has been a big shit show the entire time. Things look like it's starting to come in our favor. I'm just going to scan around the combat zone here and get a sense if there's any more threats coming in.
Okay, looking around, it's before dawn. It's a misty day, but make a perception roll.
That would be a 12.
12. You hear skittling rocks from all around you. You hear orcish voices coming out of the mist. Not one or two, but lots. There are a lot more in the area.
All right, so
it's difficult to judge how many, but many.
So even with my dwarven stamina, I'm starting to suck wind a little bit as I've been through a great ordeal. And I look around and I sense with all my senses that this fight is nowhere near an end, like I originally thought as I saw the troll fall and Mance run off into the out of the sight to get the lone archer.
Fighting retreat, boys.
If you need a place to hold them, the east door will be a very solid place, and then inside the east door, if they manage, it was built by Durian 3 ages ago, or more than 3 ages ago, and it should be able to hold anything.
Return to the mountain, boys. The east gate. We'll make our stand there. In the open like this, we're sitting ducks. There's many more coming.
And with that, I start to back up slowly with my shield still extended in a defensive posture. So I don't turn tail and run. I start to back up, trudgingly with the shield up, protecting from any oncoming arrows to myself and Gloud.
Okay. And Gloud?
Yeah, I'll follow the orders. I'll grasp my maul in one hand and with an interaction pick up one of the dead wolves and I'll place it in front of myself kind of with my forearm up against its belly, using it like a shield as I move back in line with Bolin, covering the retreat of the Lord's Pallet.
Okay. And Chessel?
The rock that the rogue disappeared behind. Is there any way that I could? I mean, I'm not going to be able to keep up with Manus, knowing that he's a bit more fleet of foot than I am. Is there any way that I can run on an angle to get a shot with a hand axe, or at least to think that I could get a shot with a hand axe behind that rock?
Yes, why not? In fact, I'm going to combine it. The retreat towards the gate should open up the another view on the rock that he disappeared behind.
Wonderful. Then I'm going to try and just run to that position and see if I can spot that rogue to get off a shot or two with hand axe.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm afraid the rogue, you cannot see where the rogue's gone. You caught a glimpse of him, but he's not. He's made his way out from the rock and disappeared into the further. You think deeper into the mists.
In that case, I'm going to yell out to Manus. To regroup, Manus. He's already gone. We lost him.
Ah, fine.
Then I'm going to stick with the rest of the group, taking up kind of a defensive posture on that right flank.
Okay. So Manus, are you coming back to join the group?
Yeah, I'd come back.
Okay. You've beaten off the first attack. You retreat back towards the gate, but as you're moving back, you can hear more. They come swarming forwards again. Warg riders. There is one more troll in the background. There are a few of these hobgoblins. They're pale skinned. You think you think they're probably the offspring of Azog, who died at the Battle of Five Armies, but they're related to him. And they carry strange whelps on their faces. And some that carry shields, you see a red mark of a Z or a number 2. It's some sort of strange symbol that you've not seen before. They are regrouping at a distance and then moving towards the gate after you. They come charging to try and catch you as you're going through the gate. What would you like to do? You've got back to the gate now. The mechanism for closing the gate is there by the side, and Fra, Lunny, and Nolly are managing. Are ready with that. Your lord Balin is laid on the ground next to Dimrill Gate, inside.
Call for the gates to be drawn closed.
Yeah.
They'll grab a couple of the other dwarves, and we'll just gonna shove our shoulders up against the other side of the door and heave our weight up against it. Looking back every so often over my shoulder to see the condition of the Lord.
Okay, so you start pushing the gate closed as the mechanism, as the counterweight balance also helps you on this. But charging up on the other side are two trolls this time, and there's only space for 2 to hit the other side of the gate, and they arrive at a thud. I'd like you to make opposed athletics, please.
I'm going to use that inspiration you gave me earlier, my lord. Oh gosh, my strength failed me. Yeah, I got a 10.
Okay, they didn't actually do much better, but they did enough. 14, and so the door, just as you're about to close the massive east gates, 2 trolls throw themselves against the door, and one gets an arm inside, and he starts flailing around. There's a troll arm in the gap between the 2 doors. One is closed, the other one is just ajar enough for for a troll arm, and one goblin also sneaks through, throws himself through the gap.
Can I try to chop off the arm?
Yep. I'll go in order of initiative again.
Oh,
so, we'll start with the goblin. Pardon?
Can I get an attack of opportunity on that goblin?
Yes, you can.
Is he within range?
As the goblin comes in, he's taking the dodge maneuver, so it's at disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Okay. All right, that's still a 15 to hit.
Yep, that pierces. You kill the goblin as it gets in. Okay,
I'm just gonna
you just
skewer him. I mean,
yes,
the gall of somebody jumping in through there. I mean, come on.
Yep, and then Manis, the arm is there in front of you.
You bloody fool! And he'd slam into it 3 times.
Okay.
Miss 17, 20.
17 is enough to bite into its arm.
All right. 14, 27 all up.
27. Okay. Your 2 blows bite deep into this troll arm, and you hear a roar of pain outside. Mm-hmm. And then Balin.
All right, so I come up to the shoulder of Manus, and I strike out with my battle axe. And I rolled 16 plus 7, 20, 23.
Yep, that'll hit.
All right, so I slice into its flesh for 9 points of slashing damage. And I look to Manus. He's still there with his bloody axe, or whatever weapon he's wielding.
Strike him again, boy.
So you're going to get a free attack. Again, using my commander's strike. You get a free attack.
Don't have to tell me twice.
Using your reaction, and you get to, if you hit, you do an additional D8 damage.
All right.
As I move aside.
18.
18 is just a hit.
All right. 10, 18 to hit damage.
18? Okay.
Yep.
That's a good bit of damage that you've done to it. Again, it roars in pain.
Go back to your hole, you giant brute. I can smell you through this door. Talking about the door, let's get this thing shut. There's more coming.
And there's room. The arm is long. It's got reach. So, Gloud, you can also attack.
Excellent. I will. 20 to hit.
Okay.
I'll smash down with all my fury into the maul. 11 bludgeoning.
Again, a welt opens up on the arm, and it's hanging a bit more loosely now. Blood is just streaming down the arm, and it's flailing around. Is that everything you do, Gloud?
No, I'm going to raise my axe overhead and do the same thing again. Smack down into it a second time. Ooh. Yeah, for 27 to hit. And this time, wax in. I'll get to re-roll those for my fighting style, so that'll be a 17 bludgeoning the second time.
Okay, you hear something break in its arm, and 17, you say? Okay, it's something breaks in its arm as you landed. One of the blows in its forearm, one of the bones in its forearm seems to break. But stone cave trolls are made of sturdy stuff. It's still flailing around. Chessel.
What if I want to put this pole arm to good use, kind of attacking up over the shoulders of my comrades. I'm trying slice in under that arm to try and find an artery or something. Let's see, the first is only a 14, which I'm assuming misses.
Mhm.
The second, however, is a 19.
Yep, that's enough.
And that will be 10 damage.
10. Okay.
And then I'm pretty sure that from this aspect, I'm going to forego that butt end attack because it just doesn't make sense for this fighting stance.
Okay. Its arm is still there, and flailing around in the darkness, it tries to close in on this time it's Chessel. So make an athletics roll, please.
That'll be a 24.
Okay, for a second its hand closes in on you, but you force back its thumb and force it off you and wriggle free as it seems about to throw you away. All of you notice the sky outside light is getting lighter and lighter outside, and the troll, if it gets caught out there, it's going to turn into stone. Now, if it gets turned into stone with its hand in the gate, it's going to be much more difficult to close the gate. But that's its turn. Another goblin dashes in and tries to run past you all. You can all make an opportunity attack at disadvantage because it's taking evasive maneuvers. Unless you've taken your reaction already, which Manis has taken his reaction. I don't know about the others.
I did, but I just had my turn before. I miss regardless.
Okay.
Is this the end of the combat round?
Yeah, it's before the next one, so...
Okay, well, I'll go ahead then, because I haven't used mine. But I like to keep mine in my back pocket. Yeah, I rolled a 17.
Okay. And Chessel, have you made your reaction?
I made one before that round of combat, so I believe I have another one here.
Okay.
And I got a 14 to hit.
Okay, Chessel, you don't get it, but Balin, you take it down before it manages to get past you. So the next, you think in a short time this thing will turn into stone, probably pinning open the great east gates in no time. But Manis, what would you like to do?
He's gonna try to push the door closed. Basically, just like crush this thing's arm and rend it off with the heavy stone door.
Okay. Make an athletics roll.
All right, I have advantage because I'm reaching. Ooh, 26. Okay.
You throw yourself heavily at the door. It bounces off the thing's the thing's arm, comes back towards you, but then you shove again, and the weight, with your strength and the weight of the door and the acceleration, it just kind of crushes the arm. It's already injured, and part of the arm falls inside of the the great gates of Khazad-dûm, and the other, the troll lets out a roar of pain and pulls back at the same time as it's trapped, and its arm just comes apart, and you've got a troll arm inside, and the gates are closed.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've made it to the safety of the first chamber. You hear in the distance, deep below you, the drumming that has been plaguing you night and day in the depths of Khazad-dûm. Your lord, Balin, is breathing his last in front of you, and everyone is in shock. you got the impression there was a full army out there, and that troll, or maybe both trolls, have turned to stone. Will have turned to stone in the sunlight next to the gates. You've never seen trolls. Trolls have been tricked. They're not intelligent animals, intelligent beasts, but it's rare for them to be out at dawn and risk being caught in the light. Something seemed to have motivated them, but there they are. But you've got yourself a breather. There's no way they can get through the east gate, but there's little chance of you getting out. And in the distance, you can hear, down in the depths, you can hear the drums beating, probably summoning other orcs somewhere in the depths. We're going to take a 5-minute break there, and then come back, and you can decide how you want to react to the death of your lord and what you're going to do next. Okay?
Sure.
5 minutes.
I gotta say the whole cave troll turning to stone to keep the gate open. Awesome idea.
Cheers. Yes,
Right?
I mean, I'm not sure it's canon, but well, I'm sure it's not canon, in fact. But improvisation.
But it also, like, it makes complete sense. If somebody intelligent was using trolls, they could actually attempt to do that.
Mm.
Be awesome.
Yep. I'll just like to add, if anyone's listening in at the moment, this whole event is part of Brigade Con, which is celebrating gaming, but also for a good reason, for a good cause. The Child's Play charity, which raises money for children in hospitals for games and games and toys for children in hospital to distract them from the awful place they are in and the difficult condition they are in with games and pleasure to help them cope better with the condition they're in. It's a good cause, and I'd like to encourage anyone who can to contribute towards Child's Play on the Brigade Con webpage. That's brigadecon.com, I think, .org. You can find the way to contribute. I'm not speaking very fluently at the moment, but look up Brigade Con, look up Child's Play, and contribute to this great cause. Cheers. But sorry, back to you, Nick or Mick.
Oh, I'm good.
Good.
That's awesome.
Good. You've survived round 1. Are you looking forward to round 2?
I am excited and ready to go.
We'll I don't know who else is back.
I'm back.
Dan, you're back. Okay. Dan, you joined us. You joined us mid-game. Well, not mid-game. After the first round of combat or so. Thanks for stepping in last minute.
Yeah, no worries.
And what time is it over there where you are, Dan?
Game started at 8 a.m. I usually get up early, so wasn't like I gotta get up for Cass's game. And it's like, oh, it's Cass. I'm up.
Nice. But glad you could join us. It's good to have more people to die.
Of course. Manus is not very good at dying, though.
Pardon?
I said Manus isn't good at dying. It's gonna take a bit of trying.
You know where you are. There are. You cannot get out. The east gate. You've closed it against your foes, but your foes have closed it against you. You're not going to be able to get out of Moria. You're stuck in there now.
We know how this story ends.
Mm-hmm.
And they all lived happily ever after, right?
Better start digging, boys!
If they take over Moria, we'll just dig a new mine inside of Moria. Just keep going.
Nick, are you back?
I am, sir.
Okay, so you've made your way to the first chamber, just inside the east gate, the Dimrill gate. But the gate is lost to you. There's no way. The numbers that were outside, the trolls have turned to stone and will block the way, block the gate opening mechanism. You may, you know that in the 1,000 years that Moria, or Khazad-dûm as you prefer to call it, the Black Pit, belonged to the creatures of darkness, they made new tunnels, they made new openings, and you haven't had time to discover them all, to explore all the tunnels and passageways and warrens and goblin warrens that riddle this mountain now. You've closed some. You've brought the rock crashing down on some, but there are many open, and you're pretty sure they'll find their way in eventually. As you look down on the grey skin of Balin, son of Fundin, you realise the dream of Khazad-dûm is perhaps turning into a nightmare. What are you going to do next? The dwarves that came with you, Frere, Loni, Nali, and the others, they are just in shock. They don't know what to say, what to do. They're not thinking straight. What would you like to do?
Brothers, we cannot languish here at this gate. It is no fitting resting place for our Lord. We should find some place fitting to lay him down, to make our stand.
I'm going to kind of... Oh, sorry. You go for it.
We can find the whole of the ancients, the ancestors, and lay them with the kings of old. It is fitting.
He deserves no less. I'll turn from Balin to... I'm assuming that Manus is much older, the oldest here?
Yes.
Bolin is a very,
He's old
very
and riddled with scars.
ancient dwarf himself. He was on the brink of retirement prior to this last excursion with Balin.
In that case, I'll say between you two elders, do you know the ways of Lost Khazad-dûm to this place?
Kais, would I have been old enough to have actually been here before its fall?
You weren't here before the fall of Khazad-dûm. That was over 1,000 years ago.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
But you do know in the time that has passed since, in the 5 years that you've been battling against the orcs for lordship over Khazad-dûm, you have claimed many chambers, and one of them, the Chamber of Mazarbul, the Chamber of Records, will hold the place, will hold knowledge of where to find the Tomb of Kings, where Durin and the earlier kings of Khazad-dûm were laid.
The Chamber of Records will likely have a map of the caverns. There may be new tunnels, but it'll show us where the tomb lay.
The chamber is also a good place, a good defensive place. There are two good defensive places for you. The Bridge of Khazad-dûm, a thin strand crossing a chasm, you've no idea how deep, going to the very roots of the mountain, where only one person can pass at a time. You could hold it. It's said you could hold Durin's bridge. It's known as, and you could hold it for days, for months, probably. And the other place is the Chamber of Records, a thin shaft, a thin shaft with mirrors and lenses connects the Chamber of Mazarbul, the Chamber of Records, to the outside. So in daylight, there is clear daylight shining into the chamber, making it easy to read, and even on a starlit night, there's enough light comes in via this shaft normally to see. The brightness of day would be enough to turn trolls to stone. Would be enough to make it difficult for orcs and other creatures of darkness to see. It would be a good place to defend. So would the bridge.
All right, so you see Balin with your query gloud. He reaches in to, as he's saying this, he's like,
Get sorts of yourself, boys. We'll figure out if we're ready to go. It's going to be a long hike. I've ventured through much of the mines to the Mithril Forge. Beyond there, to the East Gate we must go. There we will find all the records and a defensible post. It will take many days.
Actually, no. Just a quick correction there. You came in the East Gate. Dimrill Dale is at the East Gate, not the West Gate. So you're not too far. It will take hours, but not days to get.
Very good. I thought we were coming in the other side. It's all good.
Not coming in the same side of the Fellowship, but you're closer to Lorien. Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right. Rejig all that.
We don't have far to go.
You've got to cross the Bridge of Khazad-dûm.
We could hold the bridge as long as we can, make a stand there before retreating back to the Chamber of Mazarbul. Or we could just go straight to the Hall of Mazarbul and await our fate there, see over our master until we join him.
I say we make them fight for every inch.
Agreed.
They take no step but with loss of blood.
For every dwarven flagstone that their boots tread upon, let them shed blood for it.
In the Chamber of Mazarbul, they did prepare. There is a sort of strong box they've prepared out of marble to keep the mithril and other items that you find in the that you forge and you create. It's a strong box with a marble, the marble lid that could perhaps make a fitting tomb for your lord as well.
Do we know anything about the amount of danger in between the Bridge of Khazad-dûm and the Hall of Records? I mean, do we know if that's heavily infested at this time or not, or do we not have information on that?
There are the bridge between the Bridge of Khazad-dûm and the Hall of Records. It's an area of Khazad-dûm that you know quite well. It's one of the areas you've reclaimed. You've closed the goblin warrens with heavy steps, with heavy slabs of stone. You've brought down the roofs of the goblin caves that you found there, and you think it's a fairly defensible, it's a fairly safe route. There's one sort of back corridor that links the second chamber, which opens up into the Bridge of Khazad-dûm, to the Chamber of Records. It's a long walk, but you think it's fairly safe.
All right, thank you.
You hear sort of just in the distance, you hear sort of chittering and sort of occasional echoes of goblin chittering coming up through the twisting maze of corridors and passageways that there are under this mountain. And running feet.
Shall take him to the tomb. Agreed.
Agreed.
So, you start making your way. The other dwarves, they've made a sort of a stretcher to carry their dead lord. They raise it up. 6 of them are carrying him. Laurie is leading the way, and you are following in the rear guard. You push your way on, and you come to the great Durin's bridge, maybe 60 feet across, wide enough for one person at a time. It's difficult. How are you going to carry the fall? Oh, sorry. There's one other detail I've forgotten to mention. Balin, son of Fundin, has on him. You discovered Mithril, and with the amount you mined, you've mined enough for one coat of mail, which of course Lord Balin was wearing. But he has fallen. There is one suit of mithril armor, and there is also you came across the axe of Durin. It's a battle axe. It's an ancient dwarven weapon, still sharp, despite being over 5,000 years old. It was made by the forefather of your race.
Well, I know I personally have no interest in stripping down the Lord to take his armor, even at this time.
Yeah,
Should be
great.
buried with his armor and weapon.
As should we all.
I agree for the most part of that, but I think I feel compelled to speak up and say the Lord's armor, his mithril coat, should be buried with him. It is fitting. The axe too.
Oi,
But can we risk it being desecrated and falling into the hands of the enemy? This great weapon.
Speak true.
We could take it to the... And he'd almost like stutter at this, not wanting to continue. And then he would utter it. The forge.
I'm going to turn to Manus, the eldest of us, and say, Manus, what have you to say on this?
Should give it to the mountain. Throw it into the chasm. Perhaps when our sons and their sons' sons delve deep, they'll find it once again.
Who knows what horrors have long stirred air over the last millennia. Throwing Durin's blade into the chasm could be as well as placing it into the hands of the enemy itself. Though you are wise and years beyond my number, I will do as you say. Though it sits ill, I must speak.
So you push on. You make it. You have enough time to, as you're discussing what to do, planning what to do next. You have enough time to. It's basically a short rest. You, in D&D terms, it's a short rest that you pass carrying your lord. It's not strenuous. You regain some of your strength as you make your way. But in the distance, you hear the drums. You hear the running footsteps. You hear large numbers of goblins moving around in the darkness. You get to the bridge spanning this chasm. It's too narrow. You've been carrying your lord in a litter, but it's the bridge is too narrow to carry a litter across. One person will have to carry him. Maybe two. One in front of one his feet, one his leg, one his head.
The honours belong to those who've served Balin longest. And I'll step back.
I'll step forward, and as I take that literal step, you see me grimace again as I put weight down upon my just recently broken leg.
though I have served the master for a long time, I fear I'm not up to the task.
And I lean my battle axe or battle hammer down upon the stone structure of the floor, and just to gather my my stability as I almost fall over.
I'm going to step forward and put a hand on his shoulder and say, brother, I will help you in this, support you in ferrying our Lord across this chasm. And I will support the Lord on the other side, if you would be willing to take half the weight.
Let's see to it then, boy.
And I get in position again. Like I say, every movement seems to be excruciating pain, even though I try to hide it as best I can on my dwarven face.
Nice. You can all have inspiration for this bit of role playing, and what order do you cross the bridge in? Who goes first?
I guess Manus.
Manus first.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me just check. So who? It's Balin carrying. Who are the two carrying Balin?
Bolin
Just
and
like-
Chesil.
Yeah, so I'll
and
man the
Chesil.
upper body as I did in the beginning. I imagine us with the loiter and him will be somewhere in the mid range, in the middle somewhere.
Say that again.
I would think us carrying the Lord would be in the middle rank somewhere in between the rear guard and scout.
Okay, so you'll be in the center. The Balin always in the center. Okay, and where will so that's Chesil and Bolin are carrying Balin. Where will Glaud and Manus cross the bridge? Will they go before their lord or after their lord?
Manus would go before.
I'll go after and urge my companion to go forth. I'll look down to my ruined leg and severe wounds I've taken, and know that I'm the weakest link here, and so I'll take up the rear.
By the way, Nick, we took a short rest.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And is that by the rules, Caius?
Yes, you can roll your hit points to get hit points back.
Okay, cool. I'll still go last.
All right.
If I could for a moment, in carrying our Lord Balin and kind of having a moment to admire his coat of mail and his weapon, I would kind of call forward to Manus. I would say, Manus, your suggestion to cast the axe back to the mountain falls hard on my heart. I would suggest to the group that I have a pick that we could use to hollow out a space beneath the tomb in which we will lie our Lord. That could develop into a safe place that our cousins' sons and their sons might be able to find the axe again in what will be the Hall of Balin's tomb.
Yes. We can hollow a space and then push the sarcophagus on top of it. They'll not think to look below it, dumb bastards.
And
I'll
if you
gesture
do
down
it,
to the hammer at my side, the smallest smith's one, and say, I'm skilled with masonry, can shore it up well enough, move it to the like that even to the scrutiny of a dwarf, it would be seamless. If only there was some way we could hint those to come of its entombment, I'll muse. But I'm sure between the two of us that we've enough artifice to see that through should we be able to get to the Chamber of Mazarbul.
Yeah.
And the artifacts will be safeguarded.
I like this, Manus. I'll turn to him.
Yeah. He would grin with a broken tooth, say, "Yes. This makes me much happier to think about than risking throwing the axe to our enemies down in the depths. We will do this, and we will wield the artifacts of our fathers to safely arrive at the tomb."
Let Durin's line be unbroken.
Yeah, and he repeats that phrase. and continues across the bridge.
Okay, so there are 7 plus the 4 of you, 11. One of the honor guard has fell in Dimrill Dale. But as you start crossing you're making your way over the bridge. It's a long stretch. When suddenly you and all around you can hear the echo of goblin footsteps tramping along, and then suddenly you hear as another arrow comes flying from back the way you came. The goblins have found their way through to you, and the last one on the line, the last one to be coming up, Nally, drops over the Bridge of Khazad-dûm and tumbles down into the gaping abyss below. Another arrow goes flying out after it, and Lonnie is the next to fall. There are now just 2 dwarves between. The next dwarf in the line at the back would be there's one more, Dali, and then Gloud.
Yeah.
Where you are, there's only you cannot pass each other unless you could, but it'd be a difficult athletics roll. 15.
Manus would shout, "Rock formation, get your shields up! Hurry!"
Okay. In order. Gloud, you're at the back. Oh, you're second to the back. There's Dali following you. And you see,
Dali.
you see rushing. You've got the same flash of arrow, the red fletchings. He doesn't seem to be using them. You don't get a glimpse of mithril. Just you think normal iron, but it's you're easy targets. You're exposed on this bridge, and rushing towards you are 2 hobgoblins. They've got the pale skin of the children of Azog, and they've got these strange red welts on their face. One has a necklace of ears, of different ears, pinned to a leather strap around him as he comes charging towards you, carrying an orcish great axe. And just following him, slightly slower, is one in what looks like the Mail of Gondor. He also has a shield and a large spiked pick, and on his shield is again this strange red Z or number 2 mark. You've never seen it before,
So
but
these,
they're closing in on you, one behind the other.
and they're coming from the west, from the area in which we're going.
No, they're coming from the east, from the area you came in by. They must have either opened up a tunnel or used some way that you haven't found.
Very good.
All right.
Come up from the deep, maybe. The one who's running towards you, he's got a crazed look. The one with the orcish great axe has a crazed look about him, and he's charging full out towards you.
And am I got this right? Dali is a dwarf in front of me, between me and the great axe wielding orc.
Yes.
And from Dan's order, does that mean that we intend to stand and fight here, or we're going to flee across the bridge?
We're fleeing basically with our shields up.
Okay, I'll take the dodge action and begin moving back across the bridge away from these interlopers.
Okay. You realise that this orc, even though you're fleeing, it is probably faster than you and will catch you before you get to the other side, to the second chamber. What will the other ones of you like to do?
So I want the
our two comrades fall over the side into the darkness, and I look at Cecil and I say, "Come on, boy, speed up your step. We will not lose our lord to the darkness as our fallen comrades." So I'm assessing the situation to try to determine if we were to take some hits, would it be a plausible side effect of our lord falling down into this open pit, the eastern rift that we're just above on Dalin's bridge here?
It'd be unlikely, but possible. They'd need to do a sort of push, really, to knock you off, or for you to lose consciousness or something like that. You're stable enough to, you won't slip. If you get too blooded, though, you might slip on blood. It would be dangerous if there's much blood on the ground. But as you're going at the moment, you could probably get there without any. You could. It's not going to be. You're not going to fall unless you slip on blood.
Very well. Speed up your step, boy. We need to make it to the other side. We'll make our stand there.
All right, and I'm just going to kind of echo that, kind of taking it from him and putting it out to the group. Double time! Pick it up!
So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to use my action and then my bonus action to do a double move, if you will.
Okay.
Exactly the same thing here. But I also want to, I want to make sure, I don't know if I can do it by my positioning or how I'm holding the Lord Balin, but I want to try and do whatever I can to make sure that even if I am, if I take an arrow to the neck and tumble over the side, that this Lord's body stays on this bridge. And that's going to be my main concern here.
Okay, no, that's good. And
yeah,
the only other one
likewise.
is, yep. So that's Bolin and Chessel and Manis. You're at the far end of a ring of sort of line of dwarves from the action. What would you like to do?
Manus is going to dash so that he doesn't keep them from getting across the bridge.
Okay. You get to the other side, no problem. Let's see. He'd
basically be like a third base coach trying to get people to get off of the bridge.
Hup, hup, hup.
Like waving.
Mm-hmm.
Come on!
Okay, with your one move, actually, I'd like you to all make initiative rolls again. We'll go back into initiative order.
All right.
Okay. So. So, Chessel, Malice gets to the other side. Chessel and Bolin also. An arrow comes flying out towards, as I've got it Balin in the front. So it just flies past you. You get that glimpse of the same red markings. Other arrows start flying, but just scattering around you. Balin, you get to the other side, but an arrow takes Dali behind you and catches his leg, and another one catches him on the throat, and he goes down. And the great axe wielding, well, actually, the arrow takes him, and then the great axe wielding orc catches up with him and just with a shove knocks him over the side, and he's sent tumbling down into the abyss. There's only now there's nothing between Gloud and the battle axe crazed ear necklace orc. There are other orcs on the far side gathering, firing out arrows, but except for the two sort of orc hobgoblin champions, there's nobody else on the bridge. Everyone has made the other side except for Gloud so far. So we'll go back to Manis. What would you like to do?
Can I? I guess he'd take the dodge action. Only, I guess I can't like cover. Can I give cover to people trying to get off of the bridge?
You could give cover to Gloud when he arrives.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just basically interposing himself so that it makes it harder for them to try to shoot at other people. I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. So that's Manis. Balin.
All right, so with Chesil and myself on the other side and safely placing Balin down onto the hard surface, Balin pulls out his heavy crossbow from over his shoulder and takes aim at the first of the two hobgoblins that's chasing Gloud.
Ear necklace.
Right. So I'm going to, if you will allow, with the same action, take a shot at said hobgoblin.
I'll allow that.
All right. So with my one good eye, the other one, I'll use action surge if I have to make this shot. So your call.
Yes. Yep. Use action because you've already played part of your action is placing down. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
that's
so,
fine.
and then drawing. You need to do
expend
2 interactions.
No worries. I'll expend action surge to be able to do it. So I take my shot again with my one good eye, the other one being extremely cataract as it is. You see me kind of closing my eye and stuff and aiming down the barrel of this augmented heavy crossbow, and I rolled a 23, so 19 plus 4, 23 to hit.
Definitely hits him.
All right, so you see this thud of this large, oversized bolt sticking to the throat of the hobgoblin for 1d10 damage. I'm also going to attempt to push him off using my pushing attack, which is so I rolled 9 plus 1, 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
So the hobgoblin staggers a little, and he needs to make a. Is he large or smaller?
He's smaller than large. He's medium.
All right, so he gets to do a strength DC of 15, and if he fails, he's pushed back 15 feet. So with my trajectory, I was trying to shoot it as such that if he does get pushed back with this blow, that I would knock him off of Durin's Bridge into the pit below.
Your blow takes him sort of in the throat, and he's thrown back to the edge of the pit. He's knocked. You knock him off his feet. He goes tumbling, but he's got lightning fast reactions. With one hand, he kind of grabs hold of a bit of irregular surface and hangs there for a second on the edge, and then pulls himself back up.
Very good. So I forgot to use my superiority dice for the damage as well with that. So
Okay.
the total was 15, not 10.
15. Okay. He grunts in pain, but he's it doesn't look to have. It's sticking out of his neck, but he almost doesn't notice it as he's running on. Down now to Bolin. Oh no, that's Bolin's. So it's now. Did I miss Malice's turn?
I believe you missed me.
Sorry, yes,
Chessel.
Chessel.
So I'm just going to kind of hook my arms now that Bolin has joined in the fighting. I'm going to hook my arms over the arms of Balin, and I'm going to continue to drag him kind of on our way. I want to go and make sure that the next area is secure, that we're not running into trouble or getting stuck in between two forces. So I'm going to go check that out while also getting the Lord further in.
Okay. Now, this one, the guy who was knocked over the side but saved himself, climbs back to his feet and starts dashing down. He closes the distance between you and him, and then suddenly launches himself into the air as he closes on Gloud. You can make an opportunity attack.
Is he jumping over me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I certainly will. I will hit him for sure. 26 to hit. I'll re-roll those. 1, 2, 4, 4 plus 1. 9 bludgeoning damage. Smack into him as he jumps over the top of me.
Jumping on a tiny bridge.
Yep.
Not smart.
Not smart, but that's what he's doing. How much damage did you say? 9?
9.
Okay, and now he is injured. Not bloodied, but definitely injured. He lands, and his difficulty is 19 for this at advantage. Okay, he lands, he slips a little bit, but holds himself as the other hobgoblin is charging up on you. Now it's your turn, Gloud.
Okay, I want to try and push this guy off the bridge. Can I attempt to do that with an athletics check at disadvantage?
A disadvantage?
To push him at an angle, like I'm facing him one on either side, like directly opposite me, but I want to push them off the bridge.
Yep, you can try.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration on the first roll to counteract the disadvantage. So it'll be a 27.
Oh, hang on. Actually, he's not going to make it. So he lands. He's very athletic, this hobgoblin, but he's slipping around on mud, on blood, on his own blood. He slips to the edge, stops himself, and turns around to face you. And then you hammer into him and send him flying over the side of the bridge down into the chasm below. And he lets loose a scream of anguish and frustration as you deal with Durzab, not Durzab the Welted, as Sabub Earcutter goes flying down to his doom. But Hokuk, his brother Hokuk, closes in behind you now, and he.
Can I just ask first? Sorry, Troy. Do you know if we get our action search or anyone action search back after a short rest or long rest by level 7 as a fighter?
I believe it is back after
Short rest.
Short rest, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah,
so.
in that case, I'll action surge and push the other nearly unpronounceable orc off the other side of the bridge.
Okay, Hokuk closes in on you with a look of glee on his face. Make an opposed athletics.
It will be 10 plus. I believe it's an 8. I'll just double check because This could be important. Yeah, an 18 is my result. That's
He
with
gets
disadvantage.
He gets a 22. So he
He
manages
sees
to.
my ploy after the
Yep.
first one.
hmm
That's all for me.
Okay, and it's Hokuk's turn himself. Hokuk now. Hokuk brings his shield with this red Z on it. He brings it. He twists it and tries to unbalance you. Make a DC. Well, make an athletics check of 15 difficulty.
This, I think, on the Khazad-dûm bridge is the best place to roll a crit fail. Because that's sort of just.
Did you roll a crit fail?
Yeah, I couldn't have picked a better place. It like time slowed, and as it fell, it like hit so near definitely.
Have my inspiration.
Dunk, came up 1. Are you sure, Daniel?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, my lord.
I think you have inspiration as well, but you can use mine.
No, I used mine before.
Actually, Daniel, can you keep
Okay.
yours and I can give mine to him? Because I've got the lucky feat, so I've got a buffer still after that. So
Okay, I'll keep mine then.
Thanks, guys. I got 2 ones that time, so an 11. That's for a deck save, right, Class, or was it athletics?
That was an athletics check.
Okay, then the result is 19.
19.
Thanks, Nick.
He brings his shield heavily down on your knee, trying to knock you down. But you've seen this trick before. But he still follows up with his war pick twice. He's clearly a skilled orc champion. This one. The first one hits an armor class of 21. So it'll. It just your dwarven made chain keeps it away from you. You take 7 points damage from that one, and the second one, second one's a crit. So you take.
Oh lordy.
24 from the second blow.
I'm bloodied now.
And can you make a D20 roll?
Gingerly, yes. Oh, it's a 3, man.
3. His war pick breaks. It lands heavily and breaks. Would you like? You choose. What limb does it break? Describe the crunch and the break.
Yeah, I see. Like wincing as my knee is like crushed by the rim of this shield, and I look up just in time to see the lethal strike coming through. So I'm bringing up the way I imagine it, holding my maul, my left forearm up in kind of like a parrying block with the butt of my maul. But as I do, it like serves to like shear, like glance the war pick off the butt of my weapon and just straight through my forearm, shattering both the bones, and it's just like hanging by a limp bit of flesh with a bit of blood and viscera like spattering out, and just a shard of broken bone poking out there. I just kind of look in horror before the blood starts gushing in earnest. My ruined hand.
What's your weapon?
Two-handed and useless.
Okay. Yes, and the other hand, the weapon sort of drops. The end of it drops to the drops onto the bridge. You can sort of just about haul it up, but you can't use it as a weapon anymore, as it's lying there uselessly. You can have an inspiration for that description, but you're in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and now we're back to Manis.
Manus is going to...
Sorry, just a second. Is it Manis or is it... No, sorry, I'm on the wrong initiative order. It's Chessel.
All right.
I believe I'm making my way towards the next room. I don't know how much progress I've made towards that in just one turn.
Okay. Yes. Are you taking your lord with you?
I am.
One of the other dwarves comes and takes his legs. So you're hurrying on towards the side chamber in this great second chamber. But you're in a massive. If you remember where they saw the Balrog in the film, it's a massive chamber with arches. It'll take a while to reach the far side. You can hear some goblins are skittering along, taking positions high up on the tops of pillars and in little sort of goblin holes high on the walls that they've opened up new goblin holes whilst that you haven't noticed. They've been digging away in here recently, and they've opened up new warrens.
All right, so then I'm gonna yell back to my compatriots fighting on the bridge. I'm gonna say the bridge is lost. Move back. If we don't move with haste, the goblins will cut off our retreat. And then I'm going to leave the Lord with. Actually, are there any enemies on the ground that I can see, or are they all up in high positions?
No, there are some scuttling to close the various exits from this chamber. There are 3 exits from the chamber, but the one you're heading for is one of the lesser used ones, and there are only there's only some small goblins. There's no hobgoblins heading for that one at the moment.
Okay, so I want to kind of leave Balin with this other dwarf in the kind of doorway of this area. And then I want to start moving towards that doorway that we're going to keep it clear.
To clear it. Okay. As they notice you're heading that way, they start congregating in that direction. But that'll be your turn. Okay. Mm-hmm. You'll probably close in combat with them next round. Moving to Malice.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 second. I missed one. I missed one of the. I missed the goblin archer, so he's going to gloud. You're the one on the bridge. It makes sense that he's going for you, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
so
I'm standing there stricken, looking at my ruined stump.
Yep. And goodbye,
my lords.
No.
Payback.
Jeez, that's the second crit that guy. Oh man.
But actually, you might.
I feel like Boromir.
Yep. You might actually survive this, but not. It's not going to knock you off the cliff necessarily. Though you are in blood now, so you've got to start making saves.
Manus, do you still have a second wind available?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Let's see. The damage from this bow is.
He's nowhere near the other side, getting to the large chamber, right? He's not like at the precipice of joining us at the large chamber.
I imagined quite the opposite.
Yeah, I think somewhere in the middle, or sort of approaching the end, but not there yet.
I moved back into my companions when we got to the base of the bridge and they started attacking. You said it was 60 foot, so yeah, I couldn't be more than halfway across.
So.
What's the damage, Doctor?
Man.
29 piercing.
Okay. Not enough to do me in, but nearly. So as I'm just standing there, looking at my ruined stump, and my father's maul just crunk, 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 clangers down till the bridge, Durin's bridge, as I go to clasp it, then just a reel back as I look down and see the same fletching that ruined my lord's throat now protruding from my chest, and I just drop my knee. Pauldron's just thumbing into the stone as I can just look up and see these tide of greenskins pouring forth.
And make
a d20.
Yep, make a dex save. DC 15.
Do I need to make a d20 for the crit as well?
Oh, yes. But assuming you survive the deck save, that I mean, you the blow, you're in blood. The blow hits you. You might slip and fall off the side of the bridge now.
I got an 11, but I'll use my inspiration because I don't think that's good enough. So 19 is my result.
Okay. Yep. You don't fall off.
And my D20 for ruination.
Yes. See what happens next.
Yeah, I got a natural 1 on the lingering injury, mate.
The arrow punches through. Punches through your helmet and penetrates your eye, and you've lost
Through
an
my
eye.
eye slit.
Yep. Blood is just streaming down your chest, and you're at the moment, I'm going to say you're blind. The sort of eye water, the water in your eye has made one eye is blinded. The other one, the pain has made your eye water, and you're blurred, and you can't see properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I'm wearing a helm. It makes sense.
Yep. So
Yeah, I'm
you know
ruined.
you're on the bridge, but you don't know which direction to go.
The only way is up.
All right.
And whose turn was that?
That was
That
the
was
rogue.
Archer.
Did Malice go?
The
No,
nasty rogue. Oh man. Is it my turn?
it is.
All right. He sees Goud just like crippled and broken on the bridge, and he's gonna fly into a rage, shout, "Goud, no!" And he charges in, and he's gonna try to jump over and put himself between he and the orc.
Okay. Make a DC 5 Dex check. Oh, actually, what's your strength bonus?
+4.
+4. Okay, that's enough to clear Goud, unless you're unusually tall for a dwarf.
No, I'm not.
No, I mean Gloud.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so you jump over and land on the other side, and don't lose your footing.
All right. So he puts himself between him and the orc, and he's gonna fly into another frenzy.
I'm actually when the orc jumped to okay, yep, go into a frenzy.
Or I'm not gonna frenzy. I'm gonna try to throw him over the side, push him over the side.
Okay.
Is that a full action?
Yes.
Okay.
It's an opposed athletics.
Okay. I got a 25.
Let me just check. He'll have. I'm just working out whether he can do anything about this. 9, 15. No. Okay. You throw him over the side.
Yeah, he just like comes charging in and like flying headbutts him basically like a flying tackle. Boom! Just flies over the side. Go! I like take him and I point him in the direction. Go straight! Get across the bridge. I'll hold them off.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do? You can see.
I'm going to use my movement to go back if I can, as much as I can.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you. There is this. Gloud is sort of floundering blind behind you.
Yeah,
so
you'll
have to wait. You'll have to wait for him to move before you can.
Yeah, I kind of like point him in the direction he needs to go, and I just tell him to go straight. Okay.
There is a sort of slightly small. He's still an orc. He's still a half. He's still a hobgoblin. He's not as big as the last two, but he's holding one of these Z shields. He's got the same welts, and he's got a long whip, and he's cautiously approaching you. He's the next in line, but there are quite a few sort of hovering behind him, a little bit nervous. But he's not closed in on you yet.
All right.
So that's you. Now on to Troy. What is Balin doing in this moment?
So in this moment, Bolin's kind of caught between the two areas of action. He's kind of also caught in where his alliances should be or allegiance should be. He looks back as Chenso is talking about getting the Lord out of there. He starts to reset his crossbow to crank it up again, and the apparatus it's not operating as quickly as he likes, so he takes it and he tosses it just off to the side, re-equipping his shield and hammer. He looks to the two companions on the bridge and then looks back to Chesil. And once more, the Lord wins out, and he starts moving through the chamber towards the exit.
Okay, so you join Chesil and the others heading for the exit. Okay, good. Do you have any readied action if something closes on you?
I'm just taking a defensive stance with my shield as I walk, looking at the green skins coming down over the ramparts and the walls into the chamber. I'm trying to position myself in a best defensive posture as I can to block any incoming arrows.
Okay, so Gloud, it's you are on the bridge. You are blind.
Go straight, Goud. Trust me.
Yeah, he'll do as he's ordered and begin clawing his way across Khazad-dûm.
Okay.
Blind.
Okay.
Bleeding, nearly dead.
Instructions, clear instructions.
If I can I like move along with him?
Yes.
Kind of like guide him.
Make a DC 5 intelligence roll, both of you.
Oh, I'm not good at those.
Which way is straight again?
Okay, 7.
And Gloud?
Yeah, I got a 12.
Okay. Following his instructions, you have no idea, but you every moment that you take a step forward, you're expecting to feel nothing in front of you. But after a while, you're still on solid ground, and you think you've probably moved far enough to get off the bridge. Yes. Sarcophagus back into its place yet.
Yeah. Manus would turn to the other two after they've placed the Lord in repose with his armor, with his hands clasped.
Come. We must hide the weapon before they break through.
And he'd try to move the sarcophagus.
I would assist in pushing that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a. It's going to take a DC 25 strength check.
That's
Oh
with
shit!
You can
That's
have
with-
advantage.
2 individuals? Oh, that's because of 2 individuals.
Yep, that's 2. At disadvantage, at advantage, but you've got a DC 25 strength check to move this
And is
heavy.
that just strength or athletics?
Let's go with athletics.
Athletics. I'll go for athletics.
Okay, I was worried there first. I'm like, does anybody here have a strength
Oh,
score of 20?
shit.
Can I use inspiration on that?
If you want.
If I'm a
yeah.
part of it-
This is the first round, basically.
If I'm a part of it, I can use lucky on that and throw one of those your way. Because I'm helping you with that.
Can I do that, guys? It's up to you. I can use my inspiration or either one.
Have you already used inspiration?
No, I could either
it doesn't
use
matter.
inspiration or since he's helping, he can use lucky.
Yep. If he's helping, he can use lucky.
All right, so let's go ahead and use lucky. for that then.
Okay,
And do you want me to roll that or you?
I'll roll it.
All right, go for it.
25. Fuck yeah.
Okay. With the final sort of heave, with the last bit of your strength, you get the tomb back into place as the troll and goblins just come pouring into the chamber. But then, okay, you've actually safeguarded the tomb of Balin and the treasures of Durin. But then, just for a dramatic effect, then the goblins come charging in. You make short work of the first wave. The troll is more difficult, but then suddenly the troll stays in the background, not coming forwards because there is light shining in from the outside. But then suddenly there's a blast of hot air, and the light that's shining in from the outside just is blinked out. Normally you can see in the darkness, but it's like you've been blinded. You can see nothing except you can hear some heavy footsteps approaching the chamber. Roll initiative, please, as the goblins scream in fear and rush back, and you even hear for the first time in your life a troll scream of fear. Something is approaching. Roll initiative, please.
It's a good day to die, boys. 20.
20. Okay. So that's 20 for 20 for Chessel.
3 for myself.
For Chessel is a natural 1. Manus has a 1.
Sorry.
Oh, so it's Manus 1, Manus 20. Chessel natural 1, did you say?
Yes.
And so, Balin is faster than somebody this time.
I've got a natural 1. Just I was busy there for a second drinking a toast to the fallen, so I'll be joining the combat after that.
Okay. So, Manus, you cannot see, but you get from heat on the side of your body. You can feel something approaching you in the complete blackness, and you can hear footsteps coming your direction. What would you like to do?
Yeah. He's gonna rage and charge towards the footsteps.
Okay. You rage in mad dwarven anger. You can't see, you can never see, but as you approach, you can feel fire burning up inside you, but everything's black. You can't see any fire, but you take 10 fire damage as you rush forwards and attack. Make an attack roll. It's at disadvantage unless you cancel it out with whatever attack.
I'm gonna attack recklessly 3 times.
Okay, go for it. Glory.
Oh baby! Got a crit on the first one.
Awesome. Okay.
I think that's a hit, a miss, and then a 22.
The 22. Okay. The hit. Roll a d20 for your crit, please, and then tell me your damage.
17 on the d20.
17. Okay. Describe the scar that Manus leaves on a Balrog.
Shit. Yeah. It's like It's like a slash across its chest, deep in one part and then tapering.
Yep. So there's a nasty scar across the chest of this Balrog. Yeah. You hear that. You feel the second one, the second attack, ringing in, hitting in. Tell me your damage for the 2 attacks.
So you do double dice for crits, right?
Yep.
Okay. 12.
20
actually, on the first one?
20 on the first attack, and then as it lands, as it does this damage, you feel your what is your weapon?
Warhammer or battle axe.
The battle axe. You feel the blade just disintegrate, just shatter against the armor, the skin of this monster, whatever it is that you've just injured. But make I'd like everybody to make a wisdom save, please.
Zawada. Oh no, I rolled a 2. I'll use my inspiration on that. I fail.
10.
Dread. You cannot. You get this feeling of dread. Just fear is emanating from the darkness, and those of you who failed cannot move closer towards it. Okay.
All right.
And
I'm right up there, so.
Yep. And let's see. You feel. What's your armor class?
18.
Okay. Something. A fiery whip sort of closes around you, and you can't see it, but the fiery whip closes around you, and just a second, where are we? You take 14 piercing and 10 fire damage as something closes around you, whips you off your feet. Make a strength save, please. But you're at disadvantage, so it'll cancel out your just a straight strength save. It'll be at normal.
13.
Okay, you feel this whip pick you up and throw you into a wall, and you take another 8 points damage.
All right.
Moving on to the next one is after that it was Gould before, not Glowed. It's Balin before.
Right.
Before
All right.
Chisel.
So I haven't seen Manus run off into the darkness.
Not run off. You don't see anything. You heard him approach,
You hear him
but
screaming.
you're in
The entire chamber is engulfed in darkness at this point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I start to begin.
It's a creature of darkness, a creature of blackness, and it's cancelled out the sun.
Very good. So I begin to walk in the direction of Manus, and then when I get into this strange aura, I feel this this sickness and this fear and dread come over me, and I start to walk backwards slowly with my shield extended in front of me, reaching back with my axe hand, trying to reach for the sarcophagus where we just laid our liege, and I try to brace myself against it with my shield and axe, waiting for what's to come, which is, I know, as a fear washes over me, certain death and doom to all of us in this room.
And Chisel, how does Chisel react?
So I'm envisioning this. I'm kind of standing there next to the sarcophagus, right, and everything goes black. And I hear Balin kind of tapping his way back to the sarcophagus. And And I mean, here I was just getting done with a toast. And so with these kind of tear stains going down the grime of battle on my face, I'm going to kind of, grab that flask and just press it into his chest. And then I'm going to run straight at the feeling of fire coming in.
Did you make your...
I did. I got a 21.
Okay. Go for it.
Unless the DC was higher than that.
No. That was it.
All right, and then I'm just going to run forward and attack furiously.
Okay, you take 7 fire from the heat as you go in the direction. You know which direction you need to go.
Right, I'm glad for the damage. It's telling me what I need to know. And that is 3 misses, so I'm going to use lucky just to see if I get anything. All right, that final one is a 24 to hit.
Yep, the last one lands.
Wonderful. All right, re-rolling that 2-1 damage. That's great weapon. All right, that is 14 damage from the halberd.
Okay, you feel your halberd land on it and do some damage, but also you feel your halberd shatter against something old and ancient.
Can I then action surge with that?
Okay. Yep.
And I mean, feeling that weapon just disintegrate, right, with the power of this enemy, I'm going to just kind of cast it towards him, which will probably do nothing. It'll just disintegrate as well. But then I'm going to grab 2 hand axes off my side and chuck them at him as well. All the while throwing dwarven curses and just yelling at him. So that's a 22 and a 19.
Okay. Yes, both of those hit, and you hear the shatter of dwarven steel.
It's a total of 9 damage.
Okay. Now, as I'm sure you know, there's only one way that this encounter is going to finish. But I'd like you. You've all been. I'd like you to describe how, one at a time, how your character's last stand, and how your. So I'd like, first of all, Balin. Can you describe the death of Balin?
All right, so seeing that I'm further away than the others from the Balrog, I can hear the screams of my companions as they take their last breaths, or curses, or the utterings of their final curses towards this Balrog. But eventually, the creature, with its immense power and darkness and sense of evil, closes in on me as I'm trying to stay stalwart and strong, standing by the sarcophagus of our fallen Lord. But eventually I succumb to the pressure and the fear, and my already broken and shattered leg gives way to the weight and the pressure, and I fall down onto one knee. I look up into the darkness. I can sense it there, but I don't see it. And then suddenly there's a overwhelming